Okay, so today we are gonna discuss whether or not steroids should be in the military, and then also at the end, if we have time, uh, going back a little bit onto steroids in sports and
hmm
whether their use could be possibly changed in the future, and what their darker side might be in upcoming years.
Yeah, we kind of want to touch on upon if uh steroids may possibly change in the near future and like what forms it could take.
Yeah.
Different-
hmm
that. Um,
So as for steroids in the military, I mean, I don't know. I think that would be interesting.
yeah, I think it'd be interesting too. I feel like it would help. It would change like the world in general. And
Yeah.
hmm
I was actually reading an article about it right now, and it was really interesting.
Hmm.
I also read an article about it. It was actually written by someone in the service
Oh,
about
cool.
um, people in the army who've used steroids and how they're not really supposed to, but they do it anyways, just kind of for personal reasons. I don't
Yeah.
know, but yeah, I think if any country's military use steroids in their training, I think that would be a huge advantage over other countries if they didn't, because I
I
Yeah.
think the results would be different in terms of how well they perform and like how strong, how fast they are.
Yeah.
yeah, that would definitely make want to make other countries let their soldiers use steroids as well.
But also, like, how much would using steroids actually affect a soldier? I mean, it would be the first step towards, having super soldiers, but
Mhm.
like strength and speed, like from what I know of, you know, battles and war and whatnot, which granted is not much, but usually nowadays battles are fought at range.
True.
So steroids, I don't think would have too much of an effect because you're not up close in hand-to-hand combat,
hmm
where that strength and speed would really make that much of a difference. Well,
hmm
where that in that case it would make the difference, but now it wouldn't. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think you're right. In most cases, like lots of conflict nowadays, it's done at range, and you're right. But I think there are just a few instances, I don't know, where troops are in like a village or something, and there's insurgents and stuff like that. But
That's
I
a fair
think
point, yeah.
it's pretty rare nowadays.
But I mean, even then, you're not going up and stabbing someone with a knife.
Yeah.
You're still having a gun. You might be sweeping a house, but you still have a gun. So,
hmm
yeah, but like there are cases where you do need to go in a one-on-one combat with
oh yeah,
so yeah, I see what you're saying, Ethan. It's like nowadays we have guns, we have missiles. It's like it wouldn't be that much of a change, but at the same time, there are some cases where it would.
oh yeah, yeah. Totally
Yeah.
agree. What else do we have?
Yeah, also, one thing that I didn't notice before is that there are other performance enhancing drugs. They're not just anabolic steroids, there are other types of that, and I didn't know that before.
Mm.
Really?
Yeah, so like for example, there's erythropoietin. I probably said that wrong. They're called EPOs.
Hmm.
There's also beta blockers, stimulants, and there's human growth hormones,
Okay.
which is basically anabolic steroids.
Mhm.
And I thought that was kind of cool because I know there are some steroids, or I mean, PEDs that allow athletes to run faster than others. So
Hmm.
Mm.
Interesting. So it's our first step towards creating the Flash. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah, and at this point, with what we know about steroids, I don't think it's safe for military members to take them
mhm.
Yeah.
due to the side effects that we know about. And also, something I know is that with steroids, if you want to keep the benefits of them, you have to keep using them. You can't
Yeah.
use them once and then stop. You have to keep using them. And if you stop, you might have kind of a withdrawal, kind of like other drugs, and yeah, it's kind of a slippery slope. You can't just use it once.
Yeah.
Yeah, and today we know that, steroids are unsafe, but the article that I was reading said that actually we don't know a lot about steroids today. And
Hmm.
so one reason is that they said the high incidence of side effects in steroids users could be due to using multiple drugs, the interaction between the drugs, high doses, impurity, duration, or pre-existing health issues. So like today athletes or people use steroids in so many different ways with different dosages, and like
Yeah.
some use needles, some don't. So like the side effects may vary between a lot of people. So
Yeah. That's a
what
good
the
point.
article is saying is that like we don't know that much about steroids.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that definitely makes sense because I could see someone taking like 3 or more different types of steroids just because they're like crazy. They just want
Mhm.
Yeah,
to,
talking
yeah.
about steroids though, and like only taking them once has reminded me of well, Stewie from Family Guy. When
Hmm.
he takes
I thought
steroids,
that too.
becomes all buff, and then afterwards he has all this flabby skin that makes him
Yeah.
fly. It's just so funny.
That's funny. I've never seen that, but I can
What?
imagine.
Oh God, have you been? Never mind. Not to get off topic, but you got to go watch Family Guy.
Um, what
Let's
else?
see.
What time are we at, Marcel?
We're at almost 7 minutes.
Cool.
Okay.
Let's see. I mean, let's see. I think steroids would be. I think they would have more of a benefit for like SEALs and
Special forces kind of.
yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. Like, I don't have much knowledge about military,
Nor do I.
but I know that there are like some special forces where like they have to track down specific people.
Hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
And so in that case, I feel like steroids or like EPDs would definitely help. And
Hmm.
More endurance, being able to go on foot for longer.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good point.
So maybe not giving the entire military
Yeah,
like
just special forces.
mandatory use, but like
like maybe
yeah,
in special missions or like
hmm, special cases.
yeah.
But like even then, you can't just like once the mission's over, you can't just stop taking the steroids. It would have to be like these people are always on them.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. The only way I could think of getting out of that is just taking really small doses. Maybe you could get away without
that's a
those
good point. Yeah.
drastic effects. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, Diego's also right in that we definitely do not know everything. We definitely don't know everything about steroids that we need to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. What if you guys learned about like another country was making their military like use steroids for theirs? Would you feel like it would necessary for ours to use them?
No, because I mean we have the strongest military in the world. We
Mhm.
have more aircraft carriers than everyone else in the world combined. So
Mhm.
I'm not really that concerned.
Yeah.
I
Um,
feel like in the past, whenever one country has an advantage over another, I feel like that makes other countries want to make the same thing. For example, like nuke bombs or stuff like that. So
Hmm.
in a
yeah.
sense, like the U.S. Military would want to do that if other countries are doing it.
Hmm.
And this conversation kind of reminds me of the movie Extraction with Chris Hemsworth.
Oh yeah,
So
I saw that one.
yeah, that's a good movie, and I feel like if he had um like drugs to enhance his performances, it would be like way better.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wouldn't be that surprised if some actors, not some, but a lot of actors use steroids.
Hmm. Yeah, with like I don't know, like looks and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. Let's see. What else?
Um,
Could switch to the second prompt.
yeah, let's do that. So as for steroids and sports, possibly, their use changing in the future,
Mhm.
and whether or not they'll take a darker side in the upcoming years.
Yeah, well, I did want to talk about like the Captain America movie, you know how they made him a super soldier.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great comparison. I did not think of that.
Yeah, it's like that's a
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah, super soldier. There you go. One-time steroids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's literally what
Yeah,
that
this
is.
is-
that could definitely be possible, and like I can see that happening in 100 years.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think we see any negative side effects with him. I think, yeah.
What negative side effects?
Yeah, there wasn't any exactly.
Yeah, I feel like. Do you guys think, you know, secretly some countries are already working on that kind of stuff?
How surprised I am? I'm not at all surprised. I just don't get surprised by much at this point.
What do you think, Marcel?
Yeah, I think it's possible. Definitely possible.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I think it. I think it'd be really cool though to like see a super soldier. You know,
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it would be.
that'd be sick. But but yeah, we could go back to the other topic about.
Yeah.
Um,
Would they take a darker side in upcoming years? Steroids. I don't know. Like, how would they have a darker side?
yeah, like I feel like um, let's just think about like, you know, in 100 years from now, super soldiers exist or whatnot, and I feel like if the drugs are available to, not available to the public, but you know, nowadays like the black market, a lot of things are available.
Mhm.
So some people could somehow get them and you know use them for bad, like
Yeah.
terrorism or you know stuff like that. That's kind of like what I thought, but
Mhm.
you know, like in the world that we live in today, I feel like a lot of things are possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
crazy to think about what's possible, which is why I don't think about it.
That's kind of what I thought about when I talked about the darker side of steroids.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah.
Something I thought about was like, how they test athletes for steroids by like a urine test. The only
Mhm.
Yeah.
thing I could, the only thing I could think of that was like that could be, I don't know, pretty devious was that making a steroid that's undetectable in the body that you like can't prove that
Yeah,
they're using it.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
I feel like if a development like that would be made, then it would just it would be completely unregulated, and I think lots more athletes would use it because they wouldn't get caught.
yeah, I do see that happening.
But I think that they're probably even like it would be able to pass our current tests, but I think there in the future there would be a test that could catch it.
True, yeah, they might come up with a new test that
Yeah.
yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, and even after that, they can come up with an even newer, you know,
It's
steroid.
just going to be a back and forth if that happens.
Yeah, like an arms race kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
kind of like with viruses today, how they evolve, and you know, we have vaccines, but then they evolve again. You know.
Mutate,
Yep.
stuff like that.
COVID.
Yeah. Yeah, like my neighbor, he does he studied aeronautical engineering.
Oh, sick.
Mhm.
Yeah, and his senior year he worked on a project where they had to make a drone that was undetectable by the radar, by like other radars,
Whoa.
and I thought that was really cool. It
That's really cool.
yeah, kind of like, you know, we can tie that in with what we were talking about right now, but yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's kind of like the same thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um,
What are we looking at for time?
Oh, we're coming up on 15 minutes in 1 second.
Nice.
Hey.
hey, we
Cool.
did it.
Well, uh people put what you think in the comments as to
Yeah.
what you think. Well, in your response to our ROMs. Cool.
Mhm.